Mrs. Mahachi, members of the board, staff, parents, and you, my fellow Chisipite sisters. I'm sure you're all expecting me to stand here tonight and describe how awful 2020 has been and how everyone's lives have changed. But I don't think we need yet another reminder of the struggle we've already faced. Tonight is a night where we celebrate our successes. A wise man once said, "Success is a journey, not a destination." Tonight I will take you on our journey, the journey of filling the world with love. For most of us, our journey began back in Form 1, when we all became part of the Green Machine. The class of 2020 had a slightly different and more colourful sunrise to the one that is now seen by the new Form 1s. The colours of Sabi, Vumba, Mana, Pungwi, Tuli, and of course Kami made up our sunrise, which happened to be the last of its kind. Everything we faced in our first year was new: uniforms, subjects, teachers, leaders, and friends. My journey started off a bit shaky. Having had an elder sister at Chizzy, I thought I had all of my bases covered, but little did I know that I wasn't far from my first potholes in the road. Mistake number 1. Hat and blazer are not the things to leave at home on your first day of school. Mistake number 2. Ensure all of your belongings, including your school tie, are packed into your bag after sports trials. Chisipite is really not like any other school. As the babies of the school, we had our first experience of school pride and sisterhood was the Inter-House Gala. Nothing could have ever prepared us for that day. During this event, we developed 3 crucial lessons that would become more significant as our journey continued. Our first lesson was bravery. Even if you were put down for a race in an older age group, you put your big girl cap on and you swam that race as if your life depended on it. The second lesson was strength. No matter how tired you were, you cheer and you shout for your house until the Spirit Cup was awarded, because there's nothing that is more important than the Spirit Cup. And lastly, to always tell the truth about your swimming abilities, because your house captains will put your name down for any strokes that you can swim. Fast forward 1 year, Form 2, the year that went by faster than we could imagine, and the year that our volume buttons had a slight malfunction and only remained on 100. We seemed to believe that because we were now big sisters, that we were superior to everyone else. Not only that, but we also thought we were pretty cool. 2 Delta in particular, who somehow persuaded Coach A to be part of our mannequin challenge during a classroom cleanup. Suffice to say, not much cleaning actually happened. Our paths we took started to become unique to each individual in Form 3, where we were introduced to the IGCSE syllabus. Form 4 marked the middle of our journey, where the pressure and spotlight was just on us. Like any other Form 4 at the beginning of the year, life seemed to only have clear blue skies with no clouds in sight. The only thing that worried us is the colored dance dress we would get and which hairstyle we would also get. It wouldn't be long until we were pulled back into reality from the fantasy that we had become so intertwined in. The English language marked our first experience as exam candidates. Our first and hopefully our final wake-up call. From then on, it was supposed to be all work and no play. But we most definitely left time for a few laughs. Inter-house public speaking needs no explanation. But like any other Chisipite girl, we pushed through the year with the fact that we only had 20 exams left, which kept us relatively motivated. At the end of our demanding year, our 3 life lessons remained. Bravery. To push through everything that lies ahead of you, even if the finish line seems out of sight. The second lesson was strength. There's power in numbers, and with the right people supporting you, all things are possible. As the African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And finally, truth. Back yourself in all aspects of life. Even if people say it is impossible, prove them wrong. Just like every day coming to an end and the stars emerging, our journey too was in the final stages. The stars in the Chisipite sky grew in number, and the love we all shared multiplied immensely during Lower 6 camp. This served as a huge milestone in our journey, where we grew closer and got to know one another better. Here, we refined our teamwork and leadership skills, but also became proficient knitters, spending hours on end in silence, knitting away happily. But for some, knitting 22 stitches by 32 rows proved to be a challenge beyond their capabilities. So resorting to bribing Tendai to knit their squares for them. Now that's teamwork. Lower 6 was also the year when we applied for our leadership positions, a very stressful time to say the least. I clearly remember sitting as a form in the lecture theatre, and Roper said, "We must be the form that makes a difference and the form who will be remembered." And right there, we decided our aims for 2020, to make a difference and to be remembered. After receiving our positions, it was straight to work and taking on responsibilities that we didn't know we could handle at the time. But like always, we put our own doubt aside and made it through our first phase of being the leaders of the school. Then came 2020, and nothing could have ever prepared us for it. For Runya, MK, and myself, our year started off fairly perfectly, sitting on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia, feeding ourselves Ben & Jerry's ice cream, where we became Betty, Beryl, and Beauregard, also known as the 3 Bs of Birch Grove. We also had the opportunity of attending the most amazing leadership course, where we met many people from different walks of life, and also got to truly discover ourselves. We returned home with so many ideas, and we were ready to implement them in the school. The term started off as normal, learning in the classroom and attending sports clubs and practices. But our family of 69 group continued to grow as leaders and enjoy our final year. But on the 23rd of March, school was suddenly closed for obvious reasons. And just like that, our school year was taken away from us. Bedrooms and dining rooms replaced classrooms. Pajamas with a new uniform. House party replaced break times. Parents became new exam invigilators. The Caritas Chronicles was the new assembly, and students' new responses to any questions were, "Sorry, my mic's not working," or, "Oh, I'm having internet problems." After 5 months of virtual learning, we finally returned to our home, the Chisipite grounds, only to be met with so many rules and regulations, one-way systems, and social distancing rulers. But nonetheless, we were all excited to be reunited with our sisters and to make the most of what was left of our year. Which leads us here to the present. Here, today, we stand united as one to celebrate this successful journey. Our final sunset that has been presented before us has a shining gold and silver finish, where our names will be engraved on as a reminder of our individual and group successes in the year 2020. At the end of our 6-phase journey, our 3 life lessons remained. Bravery, to have the courage to step out of your comfort zone and try new things during these difficult times, because you are capable of more than you realize. Strength, your physical and mental health is such a blessing. Never take that for granted. And finally, truth. No matter the distance between us, we still remain a close family. But no journey is an individual effort. There are many people who have worked behind the scenes and supported us along the way. I'd like to thank my mum and dad for the sacrifices they have made and the unconditional love they give me. To my 3 siblings for pushing me to be my best. To the Chisipite ground staff, kitchen staff, cleaners, and lab technicians for maintaining our beautiful school. To the members of the board for their governance and the time they freely give to the school. To the teachers for nurturing and guiding us, for without them we would not be as successful as we are. To Mrs. Hill for being a strong, powerful woman through this very tough year, for your continual effort to maintain the Chisipite ethos and for always having our best interests at heart. To my sisters of Chisipite, thank you for allowing me to serve you and for the positive impact you've had on my life. Runya and MK, my 2 pillars of strength. Thank you for being my go-to people and my motivators. You 2 are truly one of a kind, and I'm so grateful for you. And finally, to my upper 6s, here we stand, united as a family, brave, strong, and true, ready to go out and spread love wherever we go in life. Always remember the green blood pumping through your hearts and the fear rumbling out in your bones. But most of all, remember that love is the fountain of life. Candidate number 0934 is signing out. Thank you.